guys. So this is a part 2. And my son was quiet the whole time. And then when I start this video back up, he started doing that sound again. Well, I guess he my confirmation bill for right now. So I apologize, y'all. But anyways, so after that video, that was 11 minutes and 50 seconds cut off. Maybe it needed to be that short for a reason. I don't know. But because I do hate when I make extra long videos, because I don't really like taking too much of people's time. Because, well, tarot readings are different. People can sit there for like an hour or listen to it in their earphones but when I'm just like talking about stuff like this, people might not want to, sit there and listen to that all day, unless it's something that, corresponds to something they've experienced. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So my brother came, the one that usually ignore people and never says anything when you text him. He's the brother who actually, and now I know I need to set this thing to record even when the screen goes off. I don't even know why it goes off, but my phone's hacked. And side note, that lady that came to pick up my son that day that I made a video of, she said something about spirits in your phone. And I thought about it like a couple days ago, and I got confirmation that there are spirits that was in my phone. I don't know if still are, but that's another way they can hack your stuff, is by spiritually hacking your phone. But okay, now back to what else I was saying. All right, so we came to this medical group here. So now I know it's mostly because this looks very familiar. Like we used to pull up on the outside of these white pole thingies out. We'll take my grandma's wheelchair out because she couldn't walk too far. All those years of wanting to just sit in the bed because she became lazy. But I see that there was some witchcraft going on, and I wouldn't be surprised if it had taken a hold on her mind. That's why in the Bible it says stuff about like and I'm not saying the Bible is the only book to be like going off of, guys. For those of you who are picky and be like, oh, here they go talk about the Bible. I haven't even read the whole Bible, guys. So no judgment here. But I'm just remembering something about that lack of knowledge. We're destroyed. For lack of knowledge, God's people are destroyed. When there's things that we don't know and we're not protected by it, or we don't pray or whatever to affirm our protection, some stuff we don't have no idea that could be going on, could be happening around us or to us, and we have absolutely no idea. So I kind of got distracted and missed where I was going with that, I think. But I was just trying to say, like, basically how, oh yeah, that's what I was talking about, because my grandma, the reason why we were putting her in a wheelchair, because she could walk, but it's like in her mind she couldn't do it anymore. And I feel like that was also witchcraft that was being done. I'm very irritated because I know one aspect of people out there, they don't even know about that stuff even existing. They'll be like, oh, a bunch of hogwash. Or they'll think it's a fantasy or some fairy tale. Oh, this lady, she's losing it, or she's definitely lost it. Who the fuck cares? Let that shit happen to y'all, and then y'all find out you're gonna be looking real stupid with your jaw dropped. But like, if you find out all these years you haven't been believing that spiritual realm stuff exists, but you didn't take the time to try to like find out for sure if it does, instead of just think that you thinking that it's not real means that it's not so, that it's not real. That's not the case. That's not how that works. But unfortunately, I wish that was the case in some cases, but nope. But anyways, this is the place that we took my grandma to, and that's where the Dr. Miller was at. And we went in there because it's like two different places in one building that you can go in. Two room. One is the labs. They have a lab. Oh yeah, that's what it was, where you go get the shots at and stuff. And then there's the doctor's office where you go in there and visit the doctor. I think that's the part we went into. I would have to go in there and see. But there was this dude with a high top military haircut. He was balding, but they, you know how they structured to make it still look like he got hair, and it's a flat top cut. You could tell he was militant, and he looked evil as fuck though. And there was something about his aura, like he was doing something wrong, because he even had his badge on, but he had it turned backwards where we could not see his name or the organization that he was working with. He almost gave off FBI, CIA vibes, like crooked CIA, FBI vibes. And it was between the I'll say maybe the 12. So I'll say maybe between the 7th and the 13th. I'll say between the 7th and the 12th or the 11th, one of the two, that we went to go to the doctors. And they said, oh no, because my mom rushed us out. She was like, "Oh no, that lady, I think she told me it was today." Then so we got my grandma ready, and that's a hassle in itself. That's why we moved my grandma from upstairs to downstairs, because getting her up and down the stairs every time we go somewhere and come back, that's part of the reason why she didn't go nowhere a lot. And then on top of it, the process of helping her walk up the stairs. And then we tried to consider getting one of those acorn stair lifts, but for whatever reason that never happened. Never mind, I don't mean to talk bad, because I was about to say my family is full of you know what. Because the stuff I be thinking about, and then when I tried to help out with my own money, then I get called names for the shit. That don't make sense. Hating that. Never mind. But anyways, that's crazy. But yeah, so it was part of the reason we moved her downstairs. And um and then the room my grandma was staying in when I had my son, then I moved into that room upstairs. And it was a bit bigger, and it had a door. It was more private. It's like I had my own room. But it was gonna come with a price though, because they were trying to sacrifice my ass. They was like, "Yeah, bitch, let you think you up there." Man, I hate. Oh my gosh, I told God, I said, God, I forgive my family, but it kind of hurts a little bit all over again when I really think about the wickedness that was like going on, like how people was quiet about it, but having and then had the audacity to have nasty attitudes. If you shouldn't have no nasty attitude, you know you finna take a nigga out. That's probably why the shit didn't even work when you tried to like. Well, it kind of worked with my grandma now, but the thing is, y'all still ain't get what you wanted. And even if you did, what good did it do you if you still in the same position? I guess for the sacrifice to be complete, all three of the matriarchs of the family had to be dead. Because first my grandma left, the first they like couple years prior to that, all of a sudden my grandma's grandma passed away. La May is what we called her, but her name was Laura May Bonner. But she died, and they knew that she died from intentionally being overdosed with morphine. Ain't nobody did shit about it. Even my Caucasian aunt knew about it. She tried to gang stalk me with that, told somebody's doing an investigation for morphine overdose. And it's how happened that all of a sudden other relatives such as my grandma, she wind up getting randomly put on what you call it, what do you call that when they about to die? But hospice. But ain't nothing was wrong with my grandma. Nothing, ain't nobody said shit about her trying to die. I mean, about to die, no disease or nothing. I was in there with Dr. Miller, bitch ass, when she said something about my grandma having that deep decubitus ulcer wound. And then she ain't say shit about my grandma about to die. She ain't say diagnose her with anything. They was still trying to run tests allegedly, or supposedly, not allegedly, supposedly, to see what's going on. My grandma was sitting down too much, and it started getting better. But all of a sudden, because she got him in the past quite a bit, because she didn't want to get out of the bed, unfortunately. But I was concerned about that. And I think one of my other uncles was concerned. So when I bought the bed, he had bought the bed frame that lifts up and down. The bed was only $800. I bought it for my grandma, and I paid it cash, so they don't have to worry about making payments, or that is fully paid for. We don't got to worry about no debt for it. My dad called me a B word because he got woke up. I don't care about all that shit. That's weak shit to be concerned about that now. I'm stronger than that mentally and emotionally to let that hurt me. But I'm just talking about it to show like how people were acting back then and tripping in the family, and then they want to try to sacrifice a motherfucker. That's why I'm pissed off. That's how you know the devil ignorant. Because how you gonna get mad, but you finna get ready to take somebody out so you can get some money anyways. It's like they have attitude like, go on, hurry up and die so we can get our shit, and it ain't even theirs. But anyways, so we can get that money, or so we can get whatever we trying to get by taking your ass out, or hide whatever we trying to hide, because y'all, whatever reason, just ignorant as hell. But yeah, this is it, because it's that waiting room area, 250. So it pissed me off though, because in my whole being, I felt that there was something that was not right about that day. They was trying to get us to go to this doctor's office, and that lady, when we got there, anyway, skip all the other shit I was saying. By the time we got there, something wasn't right. Then all of a sudden, the lady looked in the computer. This ugly ass detective, this potbelly's Caucasian detective with a red neck and a army haircut, flat top looking grumpy as fuck with his badge turned backwards. And I knew that was by design. I mean, by on purpose that he did that, because he didn't want nobody knowing his name or his agency to set off any alarms in their mind, like, oh, what the hell they got the CIA up in there for, or what the hell they got the FBI up in there in the doctor's office standing behind the computer of the receptionist for. As soon as we come bring our ass up in there, his ugly ass sitting there, he talking to somebody, got the file in his hand, doing some other shit, and he looking like he up to no good too. I can't really describe the face. It's that conniving look, like piece of shit look. It almost made me want to break the glasses, slap him across his face, just because the look he had on his face. Like you, like I know he wasn't there up to no good, for real, for real. I can't really explain it, but it was just not grotesque, but it was just disgusting. The look and the energy that emanated from that dude. I was like, nah, they ain't something right. Because that, on top of the fact that once we got there, they told us, no, you actually don't have an appointment for today. It looks like it's on Monday or Tuesday, whatever day it was. She died the day before that was supposed to happen. She died because I guess maybe if they ran tests and I went there, I would have, they know whatever they told my grandma, I probably would have like gone deeper and tried to find out what happened, how did that happen, or whatever. I don't know exactly at this time. I could find out later, but all I know is she passed away the day before she was supposed to go to the doctor, the day that they told us that she was supposed to come back. But originally my mom said they had it in the system that she was supposed to be there and see the doctor that day that we actually went there. So that was just kind of my son, bro. But anyways, we went there. It just pissed me off because then we was doing extra stuff. My grandma definitely didn't want to go that day, and I'm almost wondering if something deep down in her spirit knew something wasn't right, and that's why she didn't want to leave the house, because get getting us out the house was their I don't know, their, not their plight. I can't find the word I'm looking for to say that right now. Their ploy or whatever, to get us out. So whatever they was trying to move in while we weren't there, because they know we were the most super intuitive ones that was in the house, and that's why I feel like they was trying to take out all three of the matriarchs, because we were the three intuitive ones, that wasn't going for certain shit, as far as I know, anyways. But I did want to say how me and my brother Quattrell, we lift the stroller up. I mean, not the stroller, we lift my grandma's wheelchair up to carry her down 2 steps, because she didn't want to go down the steps. We was like, oh, don't worry, grandma, we got you. So I just went with the flow, because I'm like, well, maybe I'm tripping, but even that feeling is almost like, I can't really describe it. It's almost like a anxiety adrenaline rush or something like that. I can't really describe that feeling, but it was like sending me signals. It's almost like how bees send off those pheromones that there something's wrong, and then the other bees can, they know it from whatever signal or pheromone scent she sends off of her body or whatever. I got to do research to know exactly what it is she do, but the queen of the beehive. But yeah, y'all know what I mean. But what I'm trying to say is, you can't see it, but it's there. It can be sensed in some other way. Um, and that's kind of like what it was like when taking my grandma to the doctors. Like the way my mom said it, it was just at that very moment, something energetically downloaded, like something is not right. They're up to something, is what it basically, what I picked up, especially when my bro brought his ass over there. He be ignoring everybody. He only dropped by once in a while real quick, and he gone. He out. He might come for some food, then he gone. I was gonna say something, but I ain't finna put him on blast like that. But that he do. But it was just very odd. And then when we went to the funeral, it's like everybody was acting like it's just another dead person. We all die. But if you really care for somebody, we know we all die, but you gonna grieve them. You gonna feel sad. You ain't gonna just blow it off like it ain't shit. 333. But anyways, that just pissed me the hell off when that I had learned about that stuff. I was like, how dare you guys? So because even it, I don't know, just so many things that wound up not. It was like some stuff that was happening were clues to people being in on the orchestration of that death specifically, and then that's how I knew that at that moment I could not trust. That's what, that I could not trust my family, because it seemed like they were just too nonchalant. Yeah, that's what the word I'm looking for. They were too nonchalant about some of the things that were taking place. Like oh, it'll be all right. Even my cousin brought his motherfucking ass up there, the one that always liked to try to get some cat from his own family members. Um, he was like, well, we know it's gonna be all right because she gone now or something. He said like that. And the surprising thing is my uncle, he's acting like that too now. The one that was said to me to not have been involved or knew about it, but maybe he wasn't involved in it, but I think he might have known. He said he don't know what's going on, but just someone is just not right about some of these things that certain people in the family were saying and how their behavior was. It just was sending off improper red flag signs. Like, these motherfuckers ain't acting like how they should be acting if they really care. Or I'm not saying it right. It's like they trying to play it off because in front of me they don't want me to know because I was supposed to be next anyways. That's why one of my sisters was laughing. She was like, "Huh, Nay thought she was gonna be next. Nay sure did because she knew y'all was trying to make her next. Because that same night, the next night or something like that night, it was like I can't remember what night that was. I'll have to go back. I don't have that phone no more. But that's part of the reason also why they want to take my shit away from me, so I don't have accurate dates and times when certain things happen. But that's okay because there's other things that happen that I actually keep mental note of, and if it's locked away somewhere in a mental file, it will it'll reveal itself later at some time. But just like there's something else I had randomly remembered about about our so-called cousin Brittany, but my family kept saying they was going to Brittany house, and then I found out we had a cousin named Brittany that was up there visiting them. And then the thing that made it seem kind of weird is that when I was homeless, when I left my mom's house, because I ain't trust them no more, my mom was like, well, I guess y'all better go into a shelter. We went to the shelter finally, but the shelter was actually at a hotel through a program that provided shelters for families. Thank God, because that shelter I went to, that was an actual shelter before a lady spit on me. God was with me, baby, because I damn near beat that lady down. I mean, it was about to. I didn't put my hands on her. I gave her a chance. She spit on me. I said, oh, yeah, that's the devil right there. That's them demons that's in here doing that, want me to tear her ass up. So I was like, actually, I did go back and spit on her, actually. Yeah, that's what I did. But not as much as she spit on me. I got up. I was like, you nasty. But, anyways, Brittany, I think I saw her 2 or 3 doors down. That reminds me of that band called 3 Doors Down. Not my time. I'm not going. I don't know if y'all ever heard that song. It sounded kind of like to the end. Everything I know. It's something like that. I can't remember. I remember that time song though, because that's true though. Not my time. I'm not going. It's a band called 3 Doors Down. I think it's like 3 white dudes. But that was kind of my jam because I had listened to songs like that because I was playing guitar anyway. But yeah, we back when they was doing that COVID stuff, people was wearing masks, right? And I knew there was something to that shit because a lot of people got away with a lot of shit simply because they was able to walk into banks and all kind of other places with masks on because it was a mandatory thing that you had to allow. So that being said, I looked and I opened my room door one time when I was leaving. I was being gang stalked like a biatch up in that hotel. That hotel, I could show it to y'all last one of these days off 185th in Beaverton off Eider Court, Eider Court. Man, that shit was crazy. That the stuff I had on there, they was doing the most. They had sent a drone up to my floor, to the floor, not my floor, y'all. I'm not controlling like that. What I'm talking about, I meant to say to my room, the room that I was staying in. The window was I heard it was some dudes in a fire truck. That's how I know these businesses be in on the shit. Not a fire truck. It was a I can't remember the name of the business, but it was a red truck and he was a roofing type business or something like that. That I can't remember the name or the business, but it was these 2 dudes they met outside. I don't know if he was purchasing or pretending he was purchasing a drone from the dude, but and this was back in 2022. They was heavily gang stalking me. Now I remember why all those people was following me and walking around wearing red shirts. And one of the dudes live at one of the apartment complex where I used to work at. He was walking around following me, and what he said on his shirt was, "I'm doing." It's something that was on his shirt that said, "I'm doing this for my sister." I was like, nigga, if I find out, and I know one of my sisters got something to do with this shit, because when I was walking by something else, it said something about um something an unruly sister since 19 something. I can't remember. It was a message on something. I was walking by somebody's house and they had it big as day out there in the front yard. I could tell now these motherfuckers was gang stalking my ass hella. But to the max. I'm talking about they went deep with it. I ain't the videos. I needed them videos, baby, because if I showed y'all the stuff these people orchestrated, you would be like, oh hell no. You could tell that was intentional. Like it ain't that many coincidences in my life that I didn't come across in one day, in less than just 2 hours, even. Man. I remember I can walk all over the town just because that's how I lost all that weight, walking a lot. And even I had a bike. I eventually made my way back to my dad's house. When I was gonna stay there, I said, hell no, we got to get up out of here, because he trying to go make a move, some shit that him and my brother did. They conspired together on some type of shit. I know they know some shit together, but I just decided to leave and get my bike real quick finally so I can move faster. And I planned on buying a baby carrier. So if I ever need to move quicker, well, faster, I have the bike and I can ride my son. I even did DoorDash on my bike. It was a Caucasian lady walking with her man. She was like, girl, you doing DoorDash on your bike? Now that's dedication. I was like, thank you. But baby, it was tough because trying to make sure people got their food without it being spilled, that I had to be creative, y'all. I had to be creative. But anyways, all this came from me talking about this doctor's office. Man, if I was crazy, Lord, don't ever let me see that detective dude, because I've been and blew his face off, because I know he has something to do with that shit, little raggedy mother. You know what? Never mind. But then because basically I'm saying all that stuff though, y'all, so you can know that it don't. Oh yeah, let me get back to that part real quick, and then I'll get back to this part I was about to say. So just to finish off, the man with the drone, they had the drone coming up to my apartment window, wait, like making it go back and forth, and like it had a green light on it and a red light, and it was beeping. I heard something like kind of like small little propellers or something moving around fast, and I looked out the window. I was like, what are those people doing? And then he tried to pretend he was making it go to the roof after I finally looked out the window, but it kept hovering by my window though, and I was definitely not by the roof. They did that shit on purpose. But they my window is not the roof, is basically what I'm trying to say. My window is not the roof. The window of the room I was staying in, there was a dude right next to me. They put him in that room just so he can keep banging on the wall. Baby, I promise you. And then every time I came out there to take my trash out, all of a sudden 3 other men at the same time came to take their trash out at the same time. And I was like, nah, and I didn't even know I was being gang stalked like that at the time. I didn't know for sure I was being gang stalked until after that stuff happened. Like after all that stuff happened, when I was walking and I was listening to some Spiritual Advisor LLC's videos, I realized I learned. I think by the time I got into the Pepper Tree Inn Hotel in Beaverton, that was like the third hotel. By that time, that's when I knew for a fact I was being gang stalked back in 2022, and it was happening years before that. It pissed me off when I found out. And guess what? I promise you, some of them people hide it. I don't see they ass not a lick of a bit at all anywhere. Even when I went back to Hillsboro and Beaverton area, I don't see them motherfuckers walking nowhere. I had cameras of this chubby dude walking with khakis on and a red shirt. I'm like, why is that borderline? I could tell he was kind of not all there too, but they was using people like that to follow me as well. They be using disabled people because they probably more easier to connive, because they kind of already got some sort of mental disability where they might not be able to completely think completely straight all together for themselves. Like people could just tell them stuff and they'd be like, this girl she makes fun of people like that, so we need you to go out. They could just say anything just like that and get the people to join in on the shit. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm so that's what I'm trying to say. Basically, not putting them down. I'm just saying, like, they are probably more easier to manipulate. So that's why I saw quite a few of those type of people following me around, and because they were easily manipulated, it was also very obvious that they were following me around, because they don't just do that type of stuff on their own. They're the type of people that they usually would mind their business. They'll rather probably go to the park or eat some ice cream somewhere with one of their friends. They ain't finna follow no girl around, no black lady around walking with a stroller and walk as much as I walk. Baby, I promise you, them baby, they had them people losing weight. But I had them people losing weight. Yeah, y'all, you gonna walk with me, and I'm finna get back into that. Either I'm gonna be riding or I'm gonna be walking, cause um. Oh, is walking around gonna make me better? Like Coi Leray said on that song. I was listening to that song too. But yeah, it's just crazy because I'm looking back on that stuff, and it like